And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We just wrapped up with Team Roddy versus the Kwangdong Freaks. And Kwangdong Freaks, they were barely able to edge it out here over Team Roddy. Again, it was very close between a lot of their players. To see TY being brought to the ace match, to see Su being brought to the ace match was exciting stuff. But in the end, the Kwangdong Freaks, they were the favored team coming into it, and they did advance on into the next round. Of course, Team Roddy, if you're a fan of the Roddy team, of Throppy even, they will be having another chance in a couple of days in that lower bracket. But we have our next matchup. It is going to be Berserker Esports versus Invictus Gaming. Of course, both teams were relegated here to the Code A from Code S last season. And we'll see how they perform. Oh my god, as we have our first lineup here, we are going to be mixing things up. I was getting ready for Sakura versus BattleB, but no, up first is going to be DIMAGA versus XY. Oh my god. Papi. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta catch up. I have to quickly change my predictions here because it is gonna be DIMAGA versus TY up first, which we were not quite ready for, but it looks like some of the other players were not prepared or were not available. So we will be starting things off with XY versus DIMAGA. Honestly, the highlight match for me. Here we go. We have Papa DIMAGA going up against the king of the mindset. Of course, the only player with a 10 in mindset in WTL. It wouldn't be WTL without him. So I hope to see IG make it on through. But as we've seen, they do have a bit of a different roster. They're not fielding Mixins tonight. Maxed is not available for this match. So IG, they're going to be coming in a little bit half-cocked. You know, they don't have their best lineup available. We'll see if they can still pull through, though, without Maxed. Oh, we shall see. As Berserker Esports, they're not holding back. They're already fielding DIMAGA, arguably the ace player on Berserker Esports. I know initially we put a lot of hype around Spats, and Spats was looking damn good last season, but DIMAGA really surprised us. He really became a star player of Berserker Esports. Every week we would look forward to casting DIMAGA, and he never disappointed. Never disappointed. Here we go. Game 1 is going to be on Gresfan. Quite a large map for these two players, and considering how they play, we could have a long one on our hands. Again, DIMAGA, he's kind of like the king of the mid game. Doesn't typically go for early rushes. Does thrive though, you know, off of that 3-4 base economy. Likewise, XY, as he is gonna, of course, the king of the mindset. He's always about that long macro game as well. If you cheese, you really show weakness. And XY, he's not about that. And here we go. We're getting into our next game. Predictions are open. You can place your bets in the chat as to who you think is going to be victorious here. And in the bottom right hand corner for Berserker Esports, it is DIMAGA. And spawning in the top left hand corner for Invictus Gaming, we have XY. Here we go. XY, you know, we've been seeing the rise in popularity of these 2-racks openers on the low ground, you know, from Maru, Bjorn, from Cure, from all these young kids, these up-and-comers. Nah, mate. XY has been around the block. He wants none of that. He's not fond of change. He's just going for a more standard racks expand instead. We'd love to see it. Something a little bit more old school, something we don't see often enough in current meta. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it here from XY. Likewise, DIMAGA going for a hatch gas pool. No 15 hatches this time. We saw nothing but 15-15s earlier with Su, which is, again, very trendy nowadays. But DIMAGA, he avoids that as well. So a much more classic ZVT opener for both players. Again, I appreciate it. I miss it, Papi. I miss it. As DIMAGA is going for a hatch gas pool. XY with the racks expand. Everything on the up and up. Oh. And from here, we should be getting into relatively standard openers as well. Shouldn't be seeing anything too crazy, too out of the norm. I appreciate as well that XY, he's flaunting, he's rocking that Oliveira skin. Oh, sorry, that Oliveira portrait. Feels good, man, feels good. Did recently get added to the game. Finally. After half a year, or more than half a year. Did get it. And here we go. The dance has begun. The first Reaper makes its way across the map. It's just going to be, again, dancing with those lings. Going to be poking and prodding. DIMAGA getting into his ling speed. We do see XY going for a third CC before Starport. So a very economic opener from XY. Which is really what we expect to see. This is where I miss my Asher, because Asher, he would be here with a passage. He would be ready with the Book of XY. Ready to impart some wisdom, some knowledge on how to approach the game. And how to achieve that 10 in mindset. Enlightenment, if you will. As a Terran player, which is unheard of. Like, that's the most impressive thing. He's a Terran. And he doesn't smooch. Crazy. As behind this, it is going to be a starport. We have a tech lab on the way. We should be seeing an add-on swap between the starport and the racks. Should be going into Banshees. Which again is just stock standard TVZ from XY. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. You know, just solid play as the Banshees in production. Meanwhile, behind this, we do have DIMAGA likewise just getting his 3 bases up and running. Going to be droning. Going to be getting into the mid game as well. DIMAGA is making some extra lings, but these lings are just to keep him safe against Hellions, to make sure that a Hellion run-by doesn't catch him off guard. To make sure that XY isn't able to dive into a mineral line and be uncontested. As it looks like DIMAGA, he's just waiting for the Hellions to move out before he dips in with his own lings. So a very cheeky move here from DIMAGA. There we go, the Hellions move out, the Lings move in. They're going to be able to disrupt some of the production here, get some SCV kills, and force the Hellions back. One SCV, not too bad. As XY throws down another rack, so we have confirmation that it's not going to be mech. We have Stim on the way, double eBays, additional Raxes. Likewise, DIMAGA is getting into 1-1. So DIMAGA is going to be delaying his lair in favor of double Evo chambers. So DIMAGA, he's just cutting some corners, focusing on upgrades. And this does mean he's going to be a little bit vulnerable to early aggression just because he has a delayed bailiness and delayed bailing speed. But as we can see, XY, he's playing standard and being very economic himself. So DIMAGA can get away with this. He can get away with this. As the Banshee gets across the map, and 4 drones already go down, and we get a 5th even as well. The other Banshee not as successful, does take a lot of hits. Oh, as XY is forced out. But 5 worker kills is pretty damn good. Especially if he keeps the Banshees alive. Which he so far is. Behind this, DIMAGA working on his 4th, getting a macro hatchery as well. This 4th base shouldn't be cancelled. We should be able to rotate our queens over. And keep this base alive. Oh, it's going to be close. But the queens do arrive in time, and they do force the Banshees out. DIMAGA will hold. He will hold his 4th. It's getting into 1-1, bailing speed in production. Behind this, likewise, XY is also setting himself up. I do appreciate the SimCity. Again, he's got a wall of depots. And the move out should soon be upon us. We already have Stim. Not quite lined up with 1-1, but he does have a couple of tanks. He does have some tanks to his name. XY is going to be pushing here at the 7-minute mark with his 2 tanks. Really interesting location as well. I think most players, they push through the center, especially to take control of that creep. But here towards the south, he's going to find a decent angle. Bathing speed is still not done. We do see DIMAGA trying to collapse on this army. Bailings, they find some good connections. The tanks are exposed. They will go down. Good target firing on the Bailings. But alas, XY just does not have enough. He gets cleaned up. Only a handful of Marines survive. And that was a pretty big loss for XY. Losing both tanks like that, those were some pretty high value units, some high value targets. And he has to back off. DIMAGA from here, he's taking up even further. We have a Hydra Den on the way, Infestation Pit as well. DIMAGA, he knows he's weathered the storm, so he can afford to just tech up even further, start working towards Hive. We have a 5th base in production. Soon to be 3-3. And this creep from DIMAGA, it's actually pretty impressive. He may be struggling to spread creep towards the south just because of that push, but he is more than halfway across the map with the rest of his creep tumors. So very attentive here from DIMAGA. And a lot of pressure is on XY to get damage done. He's coming in with a triple drop. DIMAGA is out of position. Damage is going to be dealt to this hatchery. Up! Oh, but Banelings, they do crash in. Hatchery will survive. At the same time, Banshee is going to dip into that 3rd base. The Queens are not quite here to deal with this. Their focus, their attention is elsewhere. But for the most part, DIMAGA is able to keep up. He's up to 90 workers. Likewise, XY. Hey, the king of the mindset for a reason. He's up to 97 SCVs? He's about to hit 100. 98? Ay, ay, ay. XY, papi, calm down. He's doing his best TY impression. Jesus. Essentially 100 workers here for XY. This is a bit much. This is not ideal. This is eating into his army supply. So when he maxes out, he's not actually going to have as many Marines and Marauders as he should. As tanks as he should. But, you know, he'll have a good economy, I guess. True. As XY is going to be moving out here on the southern portion of the map, going for a big Doom drop into the main. DIMAGA not in position. He doesn't see this yet. Ah, there we go. He does get eyes on the drop. DIMAGA, is he ready for it? He does have a couple of Queens, but we don't care. XY, he commits to the drop anyway. Just blanketing the main base with Marines. And he does get some Queens. But Marines on their own, yeah, they're going to get cleaned up. This drop was not worth it. That's so much supply dedicated to this drop. So much supply stuck here in the corner of the map. Vipers are on the way. Soon looking to powerbomb these medevacs. Meanwhile, back at home, XY, he at least has a 5th base. He does have a 5th base. It's fully operational. He throws down 2 more. Sorry, I say 2 CCs. 5 CCs are on the way. Oh my god. 6? Oh, sorry, he's landing. Okay, 5 CCs are finishing up for planetaries, orbitals. XY, he's looking to make full use of Gressvan. He's looking to cut the map in half. Let's go. Oh no, the drop! No! Oh! A bit of an F2, I think. Either an F2 or they were in the same control group as the double drop moving out. XY, he plummets in the supply. Every single medevac goes down. Oh no. Not like this, as at least he does have that drop towards the north, but and again, at least XY has a large economy, so he can rebuild. That's a kill in the hatchery, not too bad. But upon losing all those Marines, DIMAGA, he just rushes on forward, gets on top of the planetary. The Banelings, they just crash on in, taking down the base, denying the southern base as well. Again, XY, he just lost his Marine force, so he just didn't have an army to defend. As he loses 2 bases, but it's okay. He has plenty of CCs that he can replace those bases with, as he's got 3 more in production. Because why the hell not? DIMAGA, they're remaxing. He's already got 3-3. He's got those Vipers. They're just gathering up some energy for another attack, another assault. Oh my god, the Overseer forces its way into the main base. We do have a Nidus. Alas, we have reinforcements, or we have the units coming out of the production, and Nidus will not finish. Good reaction from XY. But here comes the Lingbane Hydra with Vipers, with Blinding Clouds. Now the SimCity is looking pretty good for XY. It's going to be a little bit awkward to push into this location. But there are those Blinding Clouds. The tanks are going to be covered. The Baileys go for the planetary, and another base falls. Another 17, 18, 19 SCVs. This is a little bit wasteful. DIMAGA overextends. He takes down the base, but that was a little bit unnecessary, as he loses every single Hydra. An expensive loss for DIMAGA. And that is going to eat into his gas bank. Oof. Yeah, Hydras, they're quite expensive units, and to lose all of them in such a manner, you can see that there just isn't going to be much anti-air left over here for DIMAGA. He's going to be relying a lot more on Lingbane. He is out of a gas bank. As a result, XY is still in this. He is still in this. As he's just regaining control of his own bases. Building up his tanks, building up his ghosts. Another Nidus into the main. Is it going to be spotted? So far, no. Uh-oh. Nidus is going to get up and running. Now, I believe there aren't any lurkers, unfortunately, but hey, we get Lings into the main. Going to be camping the production. XY trying to defend with what he has. At the same time, the main army pushing on forward. Big Blinding Clouds on those tanks. Oh, yeah, this third base is going to go down. The Lings, they get on top of the tanks as well. The Ghost will hold the line, but damage was done. And DIMAGA essentially has to just keep on reproducing, or just rebuilding his Lingbane, rotating between the bases, keeping XY in check. God, these guys are looking so exposed. As XY is double expanding. He is in the midst of taking 2 bases. DIMAGA does have eyes on this, does he? He has preserved his Vipers. I think he has 2. See if DIMAGA can collapse on this position. 4 more CCs on the way. Oh my god. All the bases, and here we go. DIMAGA is trying to collapse on these ghosts. No detection. Uh-oh. No detection is available. The ghosts will reign supreme. DIMAGA losing a little bit too much. The Overseers, they come in too late. Ay, ay, ay. DIMAGA throwing his army away. The ghosts survive. XY pushing on through, going for a big counterattack. Okay, he does back up. Doesn't want to get caught on creep, I don't blame him. But yeah, that was a really rough fight for DIMAGA, and even though he's had a lot of momentum, even though he's been so far doing a great job at denying bases and crippling the economy of XY. There have been a couple of instances this game where DIMAGA has just traded too inefficiently. We saw earlier, we saw him lose all of his Hydras. Here as well, once again, the Hydra count was reset. DIMAGA just droned up to 107. Speaking of unnecessary droning, DIMAGA, he's on 106 workers. Yeah, look. The turns have tabled. And this will also mean that DIMAGA's main army is going to be that much smaller to work with. He's going to have a little bit less Ling Bane available to him. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. Hi. Throw your soldiers into positions where there is no escape, and they will prefer death to flight. If they will face death, there is nothing they will not achieve. So saith XY. Thank you, Asher. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the passage. I needed it. I needed enlightenment in my life. Why do you say my Asher like that? Oh. Why not? We have 2 more starports. A fusion core on the way. BCs? Let's go. It could be ranged libs, of course, but I'd like to believe it's a BCs. You have a DIMAGA pushing through the southern portion of the map. The Banelings are getting sniped one after the other. The Banelings, they will not get in. They do take down the planetary, but the ghosts survive. Big snipes. Oh, but XY, he does lose a lot of his army in that trade. Does lose a lot of his tanks, a couple of SCVs. And XY is still attempting to max out. What's interesting to me is that XY, he hasn't rebuilt his workers. He hasn't made SCVs in a long time. But in saying that, he has a lot of orbitals. He is muling heavily. So even though XY has a low worker count at this point, I think it's fine. I think it's more than okay for him to stay on around 50 workers here, relying a lot more on mules to mine those minerals. As XY is just building up a super maxed army. Speaking of orbitals, the bases, they're floating forward. The orbitals, they stand strong. A big Ling Bane counterattack, though, is going to take down some of these bases. When it comes to the army, not a good trade for DIMAGA. He does lose a lot of the Banelings. Did trade gas for minerals. He's got 114 links on the way. We have Yamato! It's for BCs! It's not for Liberators. We have battle cruisers on the horizon. I think he has 4 starports. I think 4 starports with tech labs. Let's go. Ship weapons on the way. DIMAGA's bases are under threat, but he's mining a lot. He's mining the hell out of these bases. Could do with some extra gases, to be fair. Like, he's got almost an 8k mineral bank. And a lot of this will come down to the gas. As the southern base is going down. Here we go, DIMAGA is coming in from behind. Oh, once again, going to be losing a lot of his Banelings. This is not a good trade for DIMAGA. He loses almost everything. He's got 124 Lings in production. To be fair, DIMAGA, he can afford to lose some Lings and replace them, but that wasn't just Lings that he lost. He lost Hydras, he lost Banelings. He's losing gas units. And XY, he's slowly pushing out across the map, slowly getting onto DIMAGA's side of the map. Taking another base. Leapfrogging forward with tanks. Now, this tank ghost army is vulnerable to Lings. Like, Mass Ling can do well here. I'm loving the positioning here. Behind these mineral patches. Reducing surface area. So meticulous. Oh, XY. Here we go. Link Mage rolling in once again. Does get one tank. Oof. Oh god. Oh god. Only one tank. Big tank shots on those Banelings. DIMAGA once again being a little bit too wasteful. He wants the ghosts. He wants them. Yeah, there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. The ghosts are going down. Finally, some good Baneling connections for DIMAGA. He won't clean this up. Oh, and that still may not be enough. I think that was like half the ghosts. Maybe a third of the ghosts went down. Oh, no detection. Lings, they will clean up the tanks, but ghosts are going ham. Aye. The detection arrives a little bit too late. The Banelings, they're rolling in. He wants the ghosts. Doesn't quite get them. And XY is rebuilding. You can see DIMAGA, he's out of money. He has minerals, but he has zero gas. He has no gas bank. This is what I was worried about earlier. He wasn't mining gases from his fringe bases. Oh, but a big surround. Oh, it's just barely not enough. DIMAGA, he can't get on these ghosts, and it looks like XY is snowballing out of control. He barely loses any supply as he's breaking into the bases, pushing towards the main base of DIMAGA. Snipes are going off, queens are going down, things escalating far too quickly. And despite the mineral bank, it's just not an ideal army. It's not an efficient army. Not efficient enough. GG gets called, and XY will take game number 1. GG. The mindset of the strong. Slow and steady wins the race. Remember, XY, he was the first to throw down, or to get up to to get up to 100 workers to get his 5th and 6th base. And XY, he never really pushed out across the map until the end, right? I mean, I guess he had his initial tank push, which kind of fell on its face, but after that, he was just a wall. He was just a wall of Terran, and DIMAGA just kept ramming his face into that wall, and a couple too many bad trades. DIMAGA, he wasn't taking up into Vipers, into Infestors, into Broodlords, into anything else, just staying on Lingbane Hydra. Didn't have the best mining. He had a good worker count, but he wasn't mining from his gases. He wasn't taking his gases on his fringe bases, and as a result, he only had a mineral bank. Didn't have a gas bank. GG, well played. XY will take a lead, but DIMAGA, it's going to be his map of choice, and he is going for Ancient Cistern. Here we go. Ancient Cistern, which is another large map, but unlike Gressvan, like XY, he took full advantage of Gressvan. You know, there's a reason why, like, he wrote an entire book on StarCraft, and the reason for that is because, mate, he knows how to take advantage of what is provided to him. That turtle style, very effective on Gressvan. And here we go, we're getting into game 2. In the bottom left, we have DIMAGA for Berserker Esports. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have, for Invictus Gaming, XY. Let's go. Beautiful. As that kind of play style that we saw from XY, I'm sure we're not really going to see that here in game 2. On Ancient Cistern, the map is a lot more open, a lot more spacious, and it's going to be a little bit difficult, a little bit more difficult to wall off and to turtle up the way that he did. So I appreciate that XY, he turns the tables and he's going for a 2-racks opener. He is adopting the more modern style of play here in TVZ and is going for 2-racks Reaper. Let's go. You actually know about the mindset of the strong meme overseas? Let's go. Exactly, Poppy, exactly. Of course. Memes, they transcend language. They transcend cultures, of course. How could we not just, you know, revel in XY's brain? Ay. We like to embrace it. Catching up in the chat. But yeah, we'll see how hard XY commits to this. Again, this 2-Racks opener, it shouldn't really be too committed. We should be expanding behind this. 3 Reapers is all we need, and XY does get eyes on this. With the Overlord Scout, he does confirm the opener of his opponent. And back at home, he should be just... Oh, actually, never mind. He is not staying on 2 bases. He takes the 3rd. The Reaper has arrived, and XY, he has options. He's going to rotate around. He gets eyes on the 3rd base, and this should prompt XY to make another wave of Reapers. He has 3 Reapers for now. We'll see if he starts a 4th and a 5th Reaper. With that, he should be able to shut down at this 3rd base. But no, okay, he's already transitioning. He's got his factory on the way. He's only going to rely on these 3 Reapers, and with them, he should still force a cancel. It's going to be a little bit closer. But he should have enough DPS here, and DIMAGA should be contained to 2 bases. There's a lot of damage is being done. The Queens are going to come in to try to defend this. Again, this is why typically you make an extra couple of Reapers just to secure the kill and secure the cancel. But this is getting close. This is getting very close. Yeah, the Queens are forcing these Reapers away, and oof. DIMAGA does hold on to the 3rd. So it was a little bit greedy of XY to try to rely on just these 3 Reapers, and alas, they aren't able to pull it off. So I would say that DIMAGA's in a really good position now. Despite this Reaper opener, XY doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't delay the 3rd, he doesn't contain his opponent, doesn't get any worker kills. DIMAGA's in a pretty good position. The hatchery is low and maybe vulnerable to an attack later, but for now, everything's looking good here for the Zerg. Link speed does kick in. Queens are getting back in position behind this. DIMAGA is going for a 3rd CC into a starport, so very... Sorry, XY is going for a 3rd CC into starport, very economic opener. I'm catching up in the chat. Light not wearing pants was broadcasted onto the Chinese state media last night. Oh no. When you penetrate deeply into a country, it is serious ground. When you penetrate but a little way, it's a fast... What are you saying right now? The book of TY. Sorry, the book of XY. Oh. I promise that was a completely random section. Why are you lying to us? Look, Asher, I think we are all aware. We've seen the book. We've seen your book. We know about the bookmarks that you do have on it. We've seen the colored thumbtacks. You bookmark all the passages. The ones that you like, Papi. Oh. Behind this, we do see XY rushing into an armory, so he's going to be going for a Hellbat push. Going to be working towards quite a committed timing here. Of course, he's not all in by any means. He's expanding, he's taking a 3rd base. XY is looking for a later game. And we'll see if he's able to catch DIMAGA unawares. As DIMAGA has been quite greedy behind this. He went for 1-1. He delayed his Bailey Nest, delayed his lair in favor of these upgrades. And XY is going to hit just before the upgrades finish. We will have a Bailey Nest, so we can morph in a couple of defensive Bailings. But XY, he's going to get on top of at least the hatchery. No, instead he wants to go straight for the natural. Bailings are being morphed in. Can he get on top of them? Can he stop them from finishing? It's going to be close. It is going to be close. We can see him target firing every single one of those Bailings, and they will not complete. We have 9 more on the way. Queens are going down. XY pushing into the natural. The Bailings are done. XY is going to be able to split up his forces. Only 1 Bailey will connect with Marines. And it looks like this is just far too much. XY with a very crisp timing. Able to hit before the upgrades kick in. GG gets called. Unscattered as well. And XY will take the series 2-0 in game 1. Flaunting his macro play, his late game. And here in game 2, hitting with those Hellbats. GG, well played. That is a big win for IG. Oh my god. That is a big win here for Invictus Gaming. DIMAGA, I would say the strongest player on Berserker Esports, does go down to XY. Doesn't bode well, but at the same time, as the ace players just faced off, I will say that both BattleB and Mixu are favored against the IG players, so there is still a good chance for Berserker Esports, just not a good start. Not a good start for their team. He penetrated the facile hands. Mindset of the king. Let's go. Ay. GG, well played. Again, a really strong start for Invictus Gaming, but of course, when it comes down to the rest of the players, BattleB and Mixu are going to be favored against TATP and BreakingGG, so IG, they need all the help that they can get. Alright, we're going to get the predictions going. Mentality, this strong has never known defeat. True, Papi, true. Who is TATP? That is Sakura. Sakura. Sakura is a new pickup here for IG. Is a new player for them. Has been around for quite some time. He was on Psystorm Gaming before this. Actually, fun fact, on Wikipedia, he's still on Psystorm Gaming, so that will have to be updated. And up next is Mixu versus BreakingGG. Let's go. Asher, can you do predictions, Papi? Can you do predictions? We have a ZVZ before us. Mixu from the land of Finland, BreakingGG from China. Let's go. Someone is getting broken and GG'd. Oh, let's go. Now, this is going to be a close one. I would say generally, Mixu is a stronger player when it comes to his matchups overall, but specifically in a ZVZ, it's up in the air. It is up in the air. BreakingGG is an amazing player, and yeah, I mean, anything could happen. Okay. I'll set up the predictions. All good. One momento. Oh no! No, we're getting in! As we get into our next statement, in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity for Berserker Esports, it is Mixu. And in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have, oh my god, we have the Chinese Zerg player for IG. It is BreakingGG. Okay. Alright, predictions are now open on who you think is going to take this best of two. So far, hatch gas pool openers all around. So historically, BreakingGG, he is much more of an aggressive player, and I do kind of look to him to really break the mold and come out with something a little bit different, a little bit spicy in this ZVZ. We'll see, though, who bites first. As game 1 is on Neo Humanity, already a very aggressive map here for ZVZ. When it comes to the other matchups, like this is more macro-oriented, and you can go for a really long game, you can cut the map in half, you can take advantage of the positioning here. But that isn't as applicable in ZVZ. Players can be hyper-aggressive, hyper-active, very in your face. Catching up. TATP was a player for OG, I think. He was on Psystorm. I remember Psystorm, they signed him so they can play in previous team leagues that required that did require Chinese players. Do you know that at least? Ah, I see. So you're just getting a little bit of history in the chat from these players. Touching the midnight grass. Asher is an animal. He has been touching grass recently. It's crazy, puppy. It's crazy. For now, Hatchgas pull into a third base. Everything's looking quite normal and quite standard between our players so far. We should be seeing a Bailey Nest momentarily as well. Lings are on the way. And Bailey Nest should soon be thrown down. There it is. It's on the way for Mixu. BreakingGG's is going to be slightly later. Actually, he's not going for it at all. Oh my god. BreakingGG is just going for a big Ling flood. We'll be losing an Overlord across the map. More Lings are on the way. Yeah, a very late Bailey Nest here from our red Zerg player. I am concerned. There's going to be a big window where Mixu has Bailings and BreakingGG does not. And that is going to be quite terrifying here. Lings are moving out. They are being active. Mixu morphing in 5 Bailings across the map. And we do see BreakingGG is going to be able to take a fight here on the right-hand side. But he has very little to defend back at home. No Bailings. The Queen's not in position. There is no wall, and the natural has to be evacuated. The Bailings are rolling on into the main. And BreakingGG is caught with his pants down. Big connections on the mineral line. 9 drones go down. And Mixu, as long as he has defensive Bailings back at home, he should be fine. He takes a worker lead. Rally more Lings across the map. Getting on top of the hatchery. And Mixu is looking to end the game here. Now, he's droning behind this, to be fair. But it still will come down to these Bailey connections. Oh. As Mixu is just going to be forced onto his own side of the map. And both players are just going to be droning from here. Again, overall, Mixu has been mining more for longer. But BreakingGG, he's catching up in the worker count. Gets us around on one of those queens. Up! Oh my god. Manual detonation goes off. Not the best connections from BreakingGG as he loses 3 more drones across the map as well. Mixu getting out of control. Yeah, these Baileys are ambitious. They're not going to finish. GG gets called and Mixu will take game number 1. GG. Things escalating very quickly there. A very interesting build from BreakingGG. He actually pulled out of gas and he didn't pull back in. That's why his Bailey Nest was so late. Is that he did stay off of gas a little bit longer than normal, and it did take him a little bit longer to pull back in. As a result, he was a little bit behind when it came to tech, and he was caught off guard with how aggressive Mixu was with his own push. And just like that, GG. Sometimes 1 or 2 good Bailey connections is all it takes. And with that, we are getting into our second game. TAT, no. Emperor Fuble, this is not TATP. This is BreakingGG. This is a different, different player. TATP will be playing later. He'll be playing later. He'll be playing against Berserker Esports. Oh good, oh good. So many names, so many names. No. But yeah, Mixu does take a lead, and BreakingGG, he's going for a larger map instead. Interesting, he's going to be going for Ancient Cistern instead, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the Finnish Zerg player for Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player from China. It is BreakingGG for Invictus Gaming. Again, he's up against the wall. Now, this map pick, it does tell us that I do think that BreakingGG wants a longer game. The rush distance by ground is a lot larger, so it's a lot more difficult for Mixu to be hyper aggressive. So it does look like BreakingGG, he wants at least a little bit more breathing room here in the early to mid game. He may be looking to get into Roach v Roach instead. Maybe he's a little bit more comfortable with that stage of the game. So from one of the smallest maps into one of the largest maps. So far, hatch gas pool from both players. We're getting some fun facts in the chat. BreakingGG, he's a singer. He has a voice. Let's go. Oh my god. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. We need to hear a rendition. Give, papi, give. As for now, we're just going to be sending out overlords. Going to be scouting across the map as best we can. And yeah, so far, there's nothing too crazy when it comes to the early game. There's no early gases, there's no early spawning pools, no early evo chambers. Everything is looking quite normal here in game 2, for now at least. This time we do see that BreakingGG should be going to a much faster Baneling Nest this time. He actually didn't pull out a gas, which is why he has a slight gas lead compared to his opponent. So it looks like he is hyper aware as to a mistake that he had last game, and now he's going to be fixing that, or like looking to rectify that very quickly with that Baneling Nest. This time it's on the way for both players at around the same time. So a much cleaner opener this time from BreakingGG, as he is getting into his Ling production. The Ling Bane portion of this game is about to begin. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll see if they apply any pressure or they just drone out from here. Oh. As we do have a couple of Lings hitting the field, but not too many. Not too many. We're just droning behind this, focusing on our economies. Banelings are on the way for both players. But again, nothing too crazy. As we should be able to wall off and eventually get into Roach production. Evo chambers are on the way. BreakingGG trying to go for a scout, but he doesn't make it into the main. But again, we can see that there's nothing to see. Like, there's no additional gases, there's no fast lair, no fast Roach Warren. Everything's looking pretty vanilla. Nothing too spicy, Poppy. Nothing too spicy. As Roach Warrens are thrown down. Do you see Lings actually bypassing the army here of Mixu, getting into the mineral line, getting some drone kills? Not too bad. The Banelings are a little bit lackluster, but we do see 2 workers going down. Likewise, the same across the map, as Mixu does get 2 worker kills of his own. So both players going blow for blow. Both players working on their roaches. Well, BreakingGG is the first to head towards that lair. Oh, as Mixu does dive into the main base, he gets eyes on the lair timing of his opponent. And Mixu starts his own lair as well. So there is going to be a window. There is going to be a big window here where BreakingGG has roach speed over his opponent. And we'll see if he decides to make use of that. Otherwise, he could just be very greedy. He could just try to drone up and take a faster 4th base. Banelings are walling across the map, but they don't quite find a way in. As Baneling speed is already in production, sorry, Roach speed is already in production for BreakingGG. He's taking his gases, saturating his 3 bases. Again, because he knows his opponent doesn't have roach speed anytime soon, he could just go for a faster 4th. As Mixu is moving out with a couple of roaches of his own. Now, I don't think he wants to commit. I'm pretty sure he wants to drone behind this. He's just showing an army. He's trying to force an overreaction, and he is. As Mixu is droning and taking a 4th. So as Mixu is droning, we can see that BreakingGG is building an army, and he's doubling down. We do have a Nidus Worm on the way. BreakingGG, he's going to be going all in here off of 3 bases. Sorry, I just sneezed. But BreakingGG, he's going for a 55 drone roach all in. One way or another, the game is to end. And Mixu back at home, he did make a couple of extra workers. He, of course, invested into his 4th base. Nidus is on the way. Spine crawlers are in production. BreakingGG maybe pulling the trigger a little bit too early. He does not have enough. The spine crawlers are finishing up. And he is forced away. The Nidus does not complete in the main base either. BreakingGG not finding enough damage. He can maybe take down the 4th. It's going to be close. He goes for the main army instead. He does take a bow to the face. Gets on top of the Ravager, but there are too many reinforcements. The 4th base of Mixu survives, and now BreakingGG, he's in an awful position. He did just make a wave of workers. He's trying to drone. But alas, Mixu has a massive advantage. He has been mining more for longer. He has a supply lead. He's moving out across the map, and BreakingGG is... yeah, he is in a lot of trouble. Mixu, he goes straight for the hatchery. Oh my god. Bit of an overextension from Mixu. I love it. He peels off a couple of roaches, heads into the mineral line. Only gets 2 drones. This could still be up in the air. BreakingGG, he holds. Again, it was a little bit of miscontrol for Mixu just attacking that hatchery for a couple too many volleys. Did lose a lot of his roaches. And behind this, Mixu, with his economic lead, he's actually going straight for a Spire. Bold move, risky move from Mixu. But he is going to be taking up. He's throwing down a couple of spine crawlers. He knows he's going to be vulnerable to a roach attack, knowing that he's just banking up his gas here for mutas. So if BreakingGG were to attack right now, then he may just end the game. But he's not. He's still back at home, focusing on his defense. He has no idea what Mixu is up to. Thank you, Serious Boy. Thank you. I appreciate it, Papi. I appreciate it. Thank you. As Mixu is going to be harassing with some of these roaches, actually getting a surprising amount of damage. He gets 1 drone and 1 queen. And here we go. The mutas have revealed themselves. BreakingGG, he's all in. He has to use this army now or never. As the mutas are just picking off Ravager after Ravager. He's running into a wall of roaches, and Mixu just has too much. He avoids the biles. Pushes on through. BreakingGG, he does bypass the army. He's able to disrupt the economy. At least for a moment. But alas, the reinforcements should be more than enough to deal with that. Yeah, and there's nothing slowing Mixu down. He takes care of the 4th base. Nothing shoots up. Only a handful of queens. And Mixu is looking to tie up the series. DIMAGA may have had a hard time, but Mixu here in this ZVZ is looking dominant. As his roaches are being forced away, but the mutas, they reign supreme. They clean up the roaches. Most of them, anyway. And what else can BreakingGG do from here? Just trying to get into Hydras. Trying to have an answer here to these mutas. That's BreakingGG. He's losing control of his bases. Is going for a Roach counterattack. But we can see that Mixu has maxed out, and BreakingGG, he was supply blocked for quite some time there as well. 5 Overlords on the way. And before the Ravagers can finish, you can see Mixu just taking a better fight. The Roach run by even getting that third base. GG gets called. It's just too much, and Mixu will take game number 2, tying up the series 2-2. It all comes down to this. It all comes down to the final best of 2. GG. Again, really well played by Mixu. BreakingGG, if you remember, winding it all back, he did go for an all-in. He went for a 3-base, 55 drone Roach all-in with the Nidus Worm. But we saw the Niduses were not getting up and running, and Mixu was able to recognize what was happening ahead of time. And he had Spine Crawlers on the way. He had Queens in position for Transfusers. Mixu was able to hold on long enough to muster up a larger army, get away with a better economy, and snowball out of control. Yeah, I question the all-in from BreakingGG, especially on Ancient Cistern. You do have a lot of time to react. You do have a lot of opportunities to scout as well. So, yeah, just did not quite work out in the end. And now we have potentially the final best of 2 of the night. It's gonna be a TVP. Let's go. Final best of 2. Just getting it set up here. And yeah, BattleB versus TATP. I do have to give the edge to BattleB again. I mentioned this earlier. After XY 2-0 DIMAGA, I was like, mate, that's good. That's amazing. That's beautiful for XY. But Maxed isn't here. And usually Maxed is also here alongside XY to really carry IG and really put points on the board. Without Maxed, BreakingGG and Sakura, or TATP, they do have to step it up, and we'll see if they can. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner for Berserker Esports, it's the German Terran player. It is BattleB. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent for Invictus Gaming. It's the Chinese Protoss player. It is TATP. Here we go. Again, the pressure is on our Protoss player here to at least take a game to force the ace match. To put things into context, if either one of these players 2-0s, that is it. That is going to be the end of the series, and their team will win. 2-0 is what they need. If we get a 1-1, then we go to the ace match. We go all the way to that final game 7. Surprise, he has a 10 in mindset, but true. Why would you ever bet against XY? Even when XY loses, he wins. That's the thing. That's how powerful the brain is. That's how powerful his mind is. He's never lost a game in his life. He's beautiful. And here we go. BattleB just going for a Rax Expand. A very economic opener here from BattleB. Even Cyril doesn't have 10 mind. True. That's, you're not wrong. Even Cyril. As again, BattleB just going for a very economic opener. Likewise, we do have a Gate expand from TATP. Bunker is on the way. So far, it is going to be scouted, it's going to be spotted, and as a response, we do have a shield battery on the low ground. So far, a good reaction from our Protoss player. Is going to be delayed mining here at the natural base, but hopefully not for too long. As the Reaper has arrived and the bunker will complete, it will finish. And with this, we will deny mining for quite some time. TATP is going to have to just oversaturate their main base for a little bit. Oh. While we do juggle that SCV with the bunker, trying to repair whenever we can. Oh. Being a little bit cheeky. A probe goes down. TATP being a little bit too adventurous here. Not respecting the bunker. Is going to lose a probe. So a bit of a bold move by our Protoss player. Our second probe goes down. Again, to saturate the natural was a bold move, and TATP was punished for it. Now, just before the Reaper goes down, BattleB, he dove into the main base. He did get eyes on the Twilight Council. He's aware of the Blinkstalker opener. The real question becomes, how many gateways? I believe we have 2 gateways for the time being for our Protoss player. So pretty standard stuff. 2 gateways into a robotics facility. If we throw down more gateways, then of course our Protoss player is going to be hyper aggressive, but 2 gateways into a third is pretty standard and pretty economic. And it looks like that is what TATP is working towards. The probe moves out for the third, but a Hellion is here to stop him. He is going to delay the third base. He is going to delay that Nexus. Back at home, we have a 3-1-1 setup. 3 Raxes, 1 Factory, 1 Starport. Pretty standard here. From BattleB. There it is, that the third base is being taken, so he is going to be pretty safe overall. Protoss player being very economic. BattleB, likewise, is going for a mine drop, but he does get intercepted. The drop goes down. Blink is done, and a good dodge from TATP does shut down the mine drop completely. On top of that, I believe BattleB didn't get to see the main base, but he saw the third. So upon seeing the third Nexus, he's aware, of course, that there aren't too many gateways to worry about, and he doesn't have to be too concerned with his opponent being hyper aggressive. The Stalkers of TATP are being active, yes, but they're only being active. They can't really reinforce. There's no Warp Prism. There's no way to really be too assertive. As our Protoss player is actually working towards charge as well. We have charge on the way. That means we have a delay on any splash damage. Delay on Colossus. Blink Stalker into charge lots. Also on armor is on the way, which will help with those zealots as well. And TATP is just building up his production here. We've got 3 more gateways on the way, so we can get into all those zealots. Immortal production has commenced. And the Prism has arrived. We'll see if BattleB can keep up. For now, like, he hasn't really been able to do too much. He's just been building up his forces back at home. He's waiting for Stim, waiting for his upgrades, waiting for his eventual bio push. Again, BattleB is an up-and-comer in Europe, and for a while he was, again, rising through the ranks. But BattleB has been less active in recent times over the past, I want to say, 6 months. BattleB, he just hasn't really been too active. He hasn't been competing in these online tournaments. So it's cool to see him back. It is really cool to see him return. But we'll see what kind of form he's in. Oh, as the War Prism does slip into the main base, at the same time, BattleB just focusing on his push. A lot of lost mining time in the main. But BattleB, he doesn't want to turn around. He does catch some Stalkers. BattleB taking a massive supply lead. There are no Colossi. A disable on the Immortal. Another Immortal does get caught out and it will go down. Good positioning with the tank. Oh, a bit of friendly fire from that Widow Mine. And the Sable is about to run out. Overcharge putting in a lot of work. And it looks like TATP can collapse on this army. Takes down the tank, but the Bio army gets on top of the tank. Sorry, gets on top of the Immortal once again. The Immortal goes down. Does BattleB have enough to keep on pushing? Can he break the Protoss here and now? Oof. Big mine shots. An Immortal does come out, but it looks like there's just too much Terran. Too much of a Bio army. He doesn't go for the third base. He's going for the... Sorry, he doesn't go for the natural. He's going for the third instead. Yeah, and it looks like there's too many Marines, too many Marauders. BattleB, he stims up the ramp into the natural base. Pylon is going to go down. Depowers the gateway. Cancels the warp in. And this is just snowballed out of control. A very crisp timing here from our Terran player. And TATP was caught with their pants down. GG gets called. BattleB takes game number 1. GG. Again, a really nice catch. Like, it all started, if you remember, it all started with... It wasn't on camera, but TATP, we saw the tail end of it. He got his... I want to say there were like 5 Stalkers in the center of the map, and they got caught out. 5 Stalkers, they got caught out in the center of the map. They went down instantly, and from there, BattleB, he just pulled the trigger, dove in between the bases, set up his tanks. And TATP just was not ready for that. Had a shield battery at the third, but only one. Didn't really have too much to support at the natural either. And with that, Berserker Esports, they take a lead in this series. One more win is all he needs. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Nartosis, are you here? that was Nartosis Pylon. You're not wrong. Not wrong. Kind of. But a solid win for BattleB. TATP has to win this here to force the ace match. The pressure is on IG. The pressure is on Invictus Gaming. See, the secret is, you know, if you're never wearing pants to begin with, then you never get caught. You never get caught, papi. You catch them. Oh. We're getting into our next game. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the German Terran player for Berserker Esports. It is BattleB. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player for Invictus Gaming. It is TATP. Sus, I don't know what you're talking about, Sirius Black. What do you mean? Hi. And I don't know if you noticed, but TATP has set up a very interesting camera location. It looks like he wants to take the gold. The probe is making a beeline for that hidden base for the gold. Is it for a proxy or is it for a ninja? If you don't wear pants, you won't spill HSP on your pants. Exactly. And then you can just eat HSP off of yourself. And that's just a bonus. I mean, that's just something you should be doing to begin with. Oh. So getting into this, and it looks like it was for a proxy, not for the gold. Unfortunately, it feels bad, man. I wanted him to take the ninja base. We have been seeing that a lot in PvT. We have been seeing a lot of Protoss players being very adventurous with those gold bases. But instead, we have a pylon. We're waiting for the Cybercore to finish. This is looking like a proxy Stargate. Proxy Stargate from our Protoss player. Zealot is moving out across the map. SCV Scout is coming in. Is going to confirm the opener. And, oh, the jig is up. BattleB, he knows that something is wrong. Something is amiss. The second pylon is missing. He's looking for it, but he doesn't check further. He's checking the standard proxy location. And it's not a proxy Stargate. Robo? What? Okay, a proxy Robo. So what's perplexing about this is that this shouldn't be proxy Immortal. It's too far away. It's too far away for Immortals One gateway gets thrown down. This is a one base all in from TATP. Should be throwing down a second gateway as well and a warp prism. The Zealot has arrived, but the Zealot does go down. The Reaper barely able to escape, but the Adept, oh, the Adept will commit to the shade, but it gets surrounded. The trap was set, and the Adept will go down. The SCVs, the Citizen's Arrest. They bring down the Adept, and did I say it 3 gates all in? My mistake. It is going to be 4 gates. A 4-gate all in. 3 of them are proxied. Let's go. Alright. I was just stretching. I was getting ready. So, all or nothing here for TATP. The game will end one way or another. He either succeeds and he kills BattleB, or he fails and he dies trying. Here we go. The Prism is on the way. Now we're going to be warping in vanilla units. There's no blink, there's no glaives, there's no charge. The vanilla stalkers are coming out for TATP. The Hellion is moving out across the map. BattleB, he wants to figure out if there's an expansion or not. And the problem is that even if he sees the lack of Nexus, there could be a ninja base. There could be a hidden Nexus instead. The Hellion does bust in, does confirm the tech is missing. And we do warp in a wave of Zealots and Stalkers into the main, and just a bit of everything. The kitchen sink has arrived. Tank is still on the way. There's no bunker in the main. The boys, they have to be pulled. The tank is on the way. We need the tank, Papi. We need it. Once the tank arrives, we can defend. But a lot of workers are going down. A lot of damage is being done. The tank does pop out in time. Has sieged up as well. BattleB taking a lot of economic losses. He loses 17 SCVs. He's down in the economy, down in the workers. But the tank has arrived. He has an anchor point. Banshee's on the way. Second tank as well. The defense is getting better here for the Terran. Where do we go from here? TATP, does he commit or does he back off? Does he take the gold? Nah, he's committing. He's going to be committing. He has to be very careful with this Banshee. Honestly, I would love Cloak. I know we don't really have the money for Cloak. If we did, it would be amazing. The Adepts are threatening a shade. Yeah, they're going to be diving on top of the army. We're going in. Good target firing from these tanks. But the Bio army goes down. The repair is not enough. The first tank goes down. But BattleB's holding. He does barely hold on. He does hold with these 2 Banshees, with the Marines as well. Oh, good juggling. It was okay juggling. It was okay. As the worker count's getting higher and higher, the tank count is being replenished. SCVs are pulled to repair. This is still looking pretty close. As TATP gets behind the mineral line, more workers are being pulled. Tanks are leapfrogging forward. Yeah, and there's just no wind left in the sails, mate. TATP can't really get much done. He's getting some worker kills. 6 SCVs go down. Not bad. There's Adepts. They're going ham. The Adepts, they do distract the Banshees for a moment. And we commit to the shade. We get on top of the tanks. We're forcing some friendly fire. But the Adepts are going down. The repairs are too good. And it looks like GG gets called. BattleB, he will hold against the all-in. And Berserker Esports take the series 4-2. I don't think we needed the fanfare there, but it's fine. I like it. GG, well played. BattleB, he wasn't quite able to get eyes on the proxy itself and what it was that he was up against, but he confirmed the lack of Nexus, the lack of Pylon, the lack of tech. He knew that something was wrong, something was amiss, And really good positioning with his tanks, really good prioritization of getting tanks and even Banshees out. The Banshees, they provided so much support as well, getting so much value over time. And BattleB, he shuts down the all-in. GG, well played. Congratulations to Berserker Esports. My condolences to IG. But again, IG, they didn't field their strongest lineup. Maxed was suspiciously missing, and hopefully Maxed is here tomorrow, because IG, they're going to need him. They're going to need Maxed if they want to progress in this tournament. If they want a chance at qualifying for Code S, they need Mixin's Papi. They need their boy. They need the man of many talents as we just get into our lineups here. Tomorrow night, we have the lower brackets. We have the elimination matches. It's going to be Mystery Gaming versus Little Fairy and Team Roddy versus Invictus Gaming. Team Roddy versus IG and Mystery Gaming versus the Fairies. Oh boy. Up until this point, no one has been eliminated. Everyone still has that second life, still has that second chance, but that all changes in less than 24 hours. In less than 24 hours, so mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. There are those matches for tomorrow night. 2 more best of 7s. Oh boy. It's going to be a little bit bittersweet. A little bit bittersweet tomorrow, but it's, you know, it's the way of the tournament. You know, we have to say goodbye to some of these players. For those wondering, the top 3 players in Code A qualify. You have to make it to the top 3 to make it into the main event. And a lot of teams are vying for those top spots. So we'll see you tomorrow. You know, make sure to bring your cheerfuls, cheer for your favorite teams, your favorite players. They need your love, they need your support to make it through, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So be sure to be there for it. Be sure. Again, less than 24 hours for our next cast. Tomorrow is gonna be a little bit light when it comes to our broadcasting schedule. Usually we cast 2 events in a day. We casted ESL Open Cup Americas earlier today, but tomorrow it's just WTL, just World Team League, So yeah, be sure you're there for it. For those wondering, World Team League is going to continue for the next week. It's going to go for the next 4 or 5 days. So we got a lot of StarCraft. We have a lot of StarCraft for you guys. Do not miss out. Do not miss out. Hold on. Do I have some music for this? I need to get this ready. Some música, papi, some música. Oh yeah, I got you. Beautiful. With that, we are done for the night. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, for being a part of the broadcast. It was a lot of fun. It was beautiful. We had some highs, we had some lows, a little bit of heartbreak, but a lot of really good games. That is all we care about. So thank you. If you want to tune in to more of the CranKy Ducklings, !socials. You know our commands. You know all the commands. !socials in the chat for links to our Twitter. We have a Facebook. We have an Instagram. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Discord server. We upload on a daily basis to YouTube, and you can support us over on Patreon. !Patreon in the chat if you want to support our tournaments. We do host events on a bi-weekly basis. We host events for as many regions as we can, and yeah, you can take part in that. You can support us if you wish. Otherwise, thank you for just following us. We appreciate it. We are live on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day as well. So if you enjoy StarCraft, follow, baby, follow. Outside of that, you can follow myself as well. I do stream over on my personal channel, Light VIP. You can click on the title of the Twitch as well to get a link to my Twitch channel. I should be streaming tomorrow. Just like some cheeky ladder sessions, you know, nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. Sometimes we smooge, sometimes we have a wall of red. We lose 300 MMR. But it's okay, you know, we like it, Papi. We like it. We get through it together. It's all good. Working my way through Masters. My goal, of course, to hit M2, to maybe hit M1. So if you're interested, you can follow me there. Otherwise, thank you. thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who we're going to be raiding. Maybe Senor Sadsack. We've been raiding Sadsack a lot recently, so I may spread the love if there's another streamer. We may, you know what? Ender. We're going to be raiding Ender. Give Ender some love. If you don't know who Ender is, he is the best player in the Philippines. Best player in the Philippines. He's a great guy. Great guy. So give him some love. Give him some support. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more WTL action. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao. Ciao.